Hey everybody, I'm a little late this week, but it is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and I'm excited to discuss with you all a little bit about design. I'm excited because this month we're talking about florals, and as I introduced last week, florals are something that in the past have not necessarily been a go to for me, but recently I've been exploring more with florals as clients have requested them and are more interested in them. As a designer, I have been really looking into how to make them work for different spaces. And there's so many applications to floral and floral design and how to integrate that into a space and make it work and make it look amazing. And so today we're going to talk about a different design element pertaining to florals. Last week we covered scale and how scale is always important and making sure that we know what scale works for the space and application that we're using it. And today we're going to talk about color because a lot of times with florals, there's such a wide range of florals that are, a black and white graphic, florals that have extensive color, like the whole spectrum of color. And a lot of times people get intimidated by that. They don't know what to do with it, how to apply it, where do I put it, like how do I use it? It's so beautiful, but I don't know, what's going on in order to make it happen. And so it's important to recognize, if you're using a floral that has a lot of color, especially if it's very saturated colors, you've got a lot of color differentiation going on. So that means it's not just one color, but a lot of it. Um, you've got to be very strategic in how you use it. And depending on the style, like certain styles like arts and crafts, we're very keen on using florals and patterns and especially a smaller scale pattern and pairing it with other decorative items, right? And designers who know what they're doing can do that very well. I've seen it done very well. It's not necessarily the taste that I like for my personal spaces, but I've seen it done very, very well. And it's something that people struggle with. So, but for the average Joe, right? You're not typically going for like the traditional like arts and crafts or craftsman style where you're combining a lot of patterns together. So usually when it comes to color, especially when it's a floral, we've got to really be mindful of allowing that floral piece to be the showcase, right? Allow it to, be the centerpiece, the eye grab, in a particular space, and being mindful of that, kind of letting the other major elements in the space be more subtle. So, for example, if you have a fabric that has a very bold colorway in it, and you really want to use this in your space, apply that fabric, whether it's to the window treatments or maybe upholstery or maybe it's a really vibrant graphic in a retail space, right? Being mindful of that, let that be the showcase, and then select your other finishes and items in the room and coordinate with that so that it's not fighting with your showcase piece, right? So be conscientious of that when you're working with florals, especially that have a lot of vibrant and very vivid colors, letting that be the showcase and allowing that to kind of have its own volume and not have to be competing with other large and critical elements in the space, right? So take a look at our Instagram. We posted an image today of an upholstery piece that it's a very vibrant floral, and it doesn't have a lot of repeat in it. So it has a really good amount of white space. And in design, white space means there's places for your eye to rest. Like there's not necessarily flowers all over it, but it has like key pieces where you're able to admire and really take in the beauty of the floral and, admire the craftsmanship. It's an embroidered fabric. So it has dimension to it and it's really beautiful. And this particular piece in the pattern allows for white space, which is really the navy color of the furniture piece. excuse me, to take up space so that your eye is drawn to the detail of the floral and not necessarily the entire like the entire piece. So there's a lot of ways to make florals work and to be mindful of color. Even if you have a graphic, very graphic black and white monochrome like wall covering that you're using on a space in a space on the walls, it's very important to make sure that you're allowing the beauty of that line work to be present, and then pairing it with other color items in the space that are going to complement that. So it's very important to keep all of the things in the space in mind. It's key to keep all of the things in the space in mind. You can't just design one element and then not understand how it affects the other elements in the space. And so that's why when you work with florals, that balance is really delicate and important to understand and make sure that you're keeping in mind. So that is our lovely tip for the week. It's short and sweet this week, but I hope everyone is able to be outside enjoying the weather and enjoying, at least in Northeast Ohio, things warming up and starting to really look like spring. So I hope you guys are enjoying the week. It is halfway to my favorite day of the week, Friday. I'm excited to share with you some really very cool upcoming projects that we have going on. So stay tuned to our Instagram and our announcements, because we got some really cool stuff coming down the pike in the next week or so. And I want you guys to be able to see all the fun that we've got going on. So until next time, friends, next Wednesday, I hope you have an amazing rest of the week and an amazing weekend. I will see you next week, where we will continue to discuss our design discussions on florals for the month of May. If you want to find out and, kind of move ahead on some of the tips that we're talking about, feel free to visit our website at www.desired-designs.com. It is under our design discussions tab, so that you can join in. So thanks, guys, for joining in. I will see you next week. Bye.